We really like growing both peaches and nectarines.
So how many varieties of nectarines do you have?
Well, I think we have at least 25 that we grow for commercially. Here, for example, is something called Honey-Kissed. It's a relatively new variety, but it's so good because it has a subacid flavor, really, really rich flavor with a lot of sugar. Let me see if I can find one here. What I like to point out about the nectarines is that they have, the real good ones have these speckles. They're usually out on the edges where the sun hits them. And at one time, this was considered actually a defect because they wanted more a solid red, whereas these speckles, they were actually being sorted out as culls. But now people realize that these speckles are actually, they call them sugar spots, and that's where the sun hits it, and that's where the flavor and the sweetness is concentrated. I've seen a lot of people start to nibble around the stem end when they first eat a peach or a nectarine, and I tell them just turn it around and go for the gusto right away because that's where the sweetness is. Give it a try.
So I got to eat it right, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, man, this is juicy.
Is it sweet?
It's great.
Great, good. I'm glad you liked it. Okay, Robbie, I just want to point out a couple of things about the peaches we grow. This is what we'd consider a typical supermarket peach. It's really red and it's fairly firm. These were designed this way to have extensive blush, and these are some old heirloom varieties. You can see that they're not really attractive, but they got a lot of yellow on them and not too much red blush. We try to focus on old heirloom varieties simply because they were designed for flavor. To illustrate the point about the color difference here, one time I was selling fruit at a farmer's market, and I had some peaches like this, and a young lady came up to me and she said, if I took these home, how long would they take to ripen? And so I opened one up, cut it, and it was dripping with juice, and she tasted it. She says, God, that's fantastic. And I said, why did you think that they weren't ripe? And she said, because they aren't red. Now, a lot of people equate the red color with ripeness, and yet the reverse is true. This color allows the farmer to pick even greener. This one here is developed for shelf life and for long distance shipment and transportation and for storage. Whereas with the heirloom varieties, you can see that they're golden yellow. And why don't you just try that one? You can see that it's juicy and it's got good flavor. This one here, if you bit into this, it would be crunchy and hard. And a lot of people don't realize this, but in the last 3 or 4 days that the fruit is on the tree, that's when it develops almost twofold, threefold the amount of sugar content, flavor, and texture and juice. When you eat a peach like this, you're really getting shortchanged. You're not getting the full flavor and nutritive value. Most of these kind of peaches are sent from the farmer to a central distribution place, and then the retailers go and buy from there, whereas people like yourself, the Sigonas, and I've been working with them for the last 35 years, they actually go directly to the farmer and buy from him, so that it allows us to pick more tree-ripened fruit and get the kind of quality that people expect in fruit.